G'day, Damon here for Automotive Superstore again, and today we're going to have a look at Kenwood's DMX7522S and the 7522DABS. They're identical units, the only difference being that the DABS has the digital radio built in. In the kit beside the unit, you get a bit of extra stuff actually. You get the cage, and that assists with mounting in certain vehicles. And besides the regular fascia for filling in the gap around the unit, you also get the Toyota Nissan 200mm wide fascia, and that's really handy for people who own those vehicles. You also get your power wiring loom, owner's manual, a small connection for a 3-wire steering wheel control, Bluetooth microphone, and in the DABS version you get your DAB antenna. Both units also get the GPS antenna, and you need that because these units feature not only CarPlay and Android Auto, but they can do both of those systems wirelessly that I'll demonstrate a little bit later on. Standard specs of the unit are 6.8-inch capacitive touch screen that is capable of playing back 1080p video. Even though it's not a 1080p native screen, it can still do that. Single USB on the rear that gives you 1.5 amps for fast charging. The internal amplifier has 22 watts RMS by 4 and about 50 watts max by 4 from the internal powered channels. Front, rear and subwoofer RCA preouts with 5 volts RMS. So here we are in the common CarPlay menu. Gives you access to the most important apps that you use. Swiping across left to right, you've got access to additional apps here, so you can use Google Maps, Apple's own maps, Waze, stuff like that. Also access, of course, to your own music library. If you swipe across this way, you get the split screen between GPS and the stuff that's playing on your media. Coming back to the main menu is done in a couple of ways. You've got an option of hitting the Kenwood button. You can hit the home button here, or you can hit the menu button, and they'll take you, menu for example, will take you straight to here, where you can go to setup. There's a lot of tuning tools here that can really enhance the performance and the enjoyment of the audio, especially in sound effect mode. So your traditional loudness function has low and high. Supreme is a Kenwood proprietary system that's, I think it adds a bit of DSP and EQ. It's one of those, it sounds good or it doesn't buttons. You press it, if you like it, you keep it. If you don't, you turn it off. Realizer, stage, EQ, they're all sort of different versions of different EQ systems. Coming back out, let's go and have a look at crossovers. Kenwood have a simple menu, have an advanced menu. So if you don't really know what all the jargon and the terms and the hertz and frequencies mean, you can just set it via the size of car you've got and the size of speakers you've got, and the Kenwood system will choose an appropriate filter for you. Now this unit has the choice of a traditional two-way high pass, and low pass system. So high pass for your front and rear speakers and low pass for your subwoofer. Alternatively, you can switch it to a three-way system, which has tweeter output, mid-range output with a band pass filter, and then your low pass filter for your subwoofer. To set the crossover, you choose which speaker you want to adjust, you hit the crossover button. Now you're here in the front speaker crossover, so you can add a high pass filter, like so. You can adjust the steepness or shallowness of that filter. See the TW gain? That means tweeter gain, and that means if you've got a speaker system that's got a separate tweeter up front and the treble level is too hot, if you just hit this button, you can see how it shelves down, and that's a much better way of adjusting overall treble output versus just trying to pull a frequency or two frequencies out. The reason the crossover has large, middle, small or no tweeters, if I go to small now and go back in again, you'll see that shelf is actually shrunk down. So what it means is a smaller tweeter operates in a narrower band of frequencies, and so they just pull those frequencies out. If you've got a larger tweeter, it pulls a larger band out. That's really good. In EQ, you actually have a subwoofer level control here. In your EQ, you've got your 13 bands of straight, what we call graphic equalizer. You can't vary the centers or the Q of the bands, but 13 is usually plenty for most people. And then you've got various preset curves that you can go through and toy around with. Or you can tune your own and store them into one of up to 4 user preset curves. You also have time alignment, that is delaying each speaker in the system so that they arrive at your ears at the same time. Again, Kenwood has a simple version and an advanced version. Simple version is, I just want the focus on the front, and I want front all left, front all right. You can do all, or you can go into the fine adjustment and you can have each of the different speakers delayed to your preference. Actually, if you hit the preset, it'll show you what it's already got as the preset time delay for each side. In system, you'll need to go in here when you're doing your initially setting up your wireless Android Auto and CarPlay systems. We've got that set up actually, and I can demo that. So at the moment we have CarPlay. Here we can go through and go into whatever we want to play. If we come back out, so we've got our iPhone here connected via a cable, and we've decided to connect the Android this time wirelessly, and that's here. If I click the Android Auto button, it says I'll just jump you out of CarPlay. Yes, please. And here we are with wirelessly connected Android Auto. Works very, very similarly to CarPlay. It's just you swipe up and down instead of left and right, and again you get access to the core features that you need from your phone. So there they are, the DMX7522S and DABS. Why you'd step up to these models over the one just below, the 7022S, is because you really want that wireless functionality, that convenience from your iPhone or your Android phone. If you're thinking about stepping up to the next model in the range, in Kenwood's price range, the big difference that model has is it has high-res audio playback for FLAC files via USB. If that's not a function you really need or want, there's no need to spend any more than at this range here. And really, this gives you 99% of the things that you really need in a unit. They're great units. I hope you like this review, and while you're here, like and subscribe, leave a comment down below, and I will see you on the next one.